Part 9. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 81. You little beast, you still want to escape. Tangda smiled coldly, and chased after him like lightning. At the same time, he took out a palm-sized net made of light golden silk threads and threw it towards Lin Su, saying collect. The light golden net suddenly became larger and covered Lin Su. A strong electric current was emitted from the net. Lin Su felt a sharp pain all over his body. His forward momentum suddenly slowed down. He was wrapped in the net and flew backwards, falling into Tangda's hands. Hee, can you run away? Tangda laughed triumphantly. What he threw out just now was the beast trap net produced by the Spirit Beast Island. Although it was only a low-level beast trap net, it was more than enough to trap Lin Su, a juvenile spirit eye snow python of the first level demon beast level. Asshole! Asshole! Lin Su struggled violently in the net, making a hissing sound of snakes, and was full of resentment in his heart. The current body of the spirit eye snow python is too weak to withstand even this level of current. If it were his original body, he wouldn't feel the slightest bit of this level of electricity even if it was amplified 10 times. This little beast is quite capable of tossing around. This time we caught a treasure. Tangda looked at Lin Su, who was struggling in the electric net, as if he saw a pile of spiritual stones. This little snow python looked full of vitality. If it was used as a spiritual pet, it would definitely sell for a good price. Yes. The number of spirit eye snow pythons is already rare, and the juvenile stage is even rarer. Such spiritual pets can be regarded as top quality products. We made a fortune this time. Gaoji, who followed, was also full of joy, looking at Lin Su in the electric net and praising him. It's over. I'm going to be sold as a spirit pet by these two people. Lin Su heard the two people's words clearly, and he sighed in his heart. Although he had never raised a spirit pet, he also knew that a spirit pet was a domesticated monster. Its soul would be branded and enslaved by people. It had no way to resist the will of its master. For him, that would be worse than death. 2 seniors, this spirit-eyed snow python has been caught. Can I get my reward? Looking at the happy faces of Tangda and Gaoji, Song Yulong on the side swallowed his saliva and asked with gritted teeth. Reward? Yes, you should be paid. Tangda and Gaoji looked at each other, and they looked at Song Yulong at the same time, grinning. Song Yulong, your ability to search for monsters is really good, we should pay you. But this time we have such a big harvest, if you go back and talk nonsense, won't our brothers cause trouble? No, 2 seniors, I am a very tight-lipped person, I will never talk nonsense, absolutely not. Song Yulong's heart clicked when he heard it, and he waved his hand to guarantee. No matter how tight the mouth of a living person is, it is limited. I think the dead are the best at keeping secrets. What do you think, Brother Gao? Tangda raised his eyebrows at Gaoji, and Gaoji nodded with a grin. Brother Tang is right, I think so too, only the dead are the most tight-lipped. Lin Su, who was struggling in the electric net, was enlightened when he heard the conversation between the 3 people. It seems that these 2 foundation-building cultivators are going to kill people to silence them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Maybe we can use him. The more he thought about it, the more he felt that this was possible. Lin Su gritted his teeth and decided to give it a try. Boy, these 2 guys are going to kill people to silence them. Do you want to save your life? Song Yulong looked at Tangda and Gaoji, who were grinning. His heart was cold. He was about to use all his strength to escape. Suddenly, he heard a voice transmission in his ears and was stunned. He looked around. In the area of dozens of meters, besides the 3 of them, there was only the juvenile snow python in the electric net. Who sent him the voice transmission? Song Yulong, you want to escape by looking around, right? I advise you not to waste your energy. Do you think you can escape from our brothers? Tangda looked at Song Yulong with a grin. A long sword flashing with cold light appeared in his hand. He was ready to kill. Boy, look here, I'm in the electric net. The voice sounded in his ears again, and Song Yulong and others looked at Lin Su in the electric net with wide eyes, and were shocked. No way, is it this spiritual ice snow python talking to me? How is this possible? Song Yulong was looking at Lin Su, and Lin Su was also staring at Song Yulong. Yes, I am talking to you, don't make a sound. If you want to save your life, hide your shocked expression. It's really this spiritual ice snow python that is talking. A thought suddenly flashed through Song Yulong's mind, a master took over the body. Song Yulong didn't believe that the spiritual ice snow python that was talking to him in the electric net in front of him was really a juvenile stage spiritual ice snow python. This must be a master who took over the body. Generally speaking, those who can take over the body and be reborn are at least masters above the Jindan stage. In Lin Su's opinion, the spiritual ice snow python in front of him must have been taken over by an old monster above the Jindan stage. Boy, I will make these two people lose consciousness for a short time. If you want to survive, take this opportunity to kill them. What do you think? Do you dare to give it a try? The only thing Lin Su can rely on now is his consciousness. Among all his attack skills, the only one that can be used is Shock Soul Stab. Lin Su is sure that he can make Tangda and Gaoji lose consciousness for a short time, but he can only do the step. The next attack must be completed by Song Yulong. No problem, I agree. Do you dare to gamble? Isn't this nonsense? Of course I dare, and I must dare. Tangda and Gaoji are determined to kill Song Yulong. If they don't give it a try at this time, their lives will really be in danger. Lin Su sent a message to Song Yulong until the time it was agreed to take action was only a few breaths away. Tangda had already raised his flying sword. His consciousness was locked on Song Yulong and he was about to take action. Gaoji was holding his hands and watching coldly. Now, to deal with Song Yulong, a young casual cultivator in the Qi refining stage, Tangda's action is more than enough. Now, do it. Lin Su shouted loudly, and then activated Shocking Stab, and his consciousness suddenly turned into two sharp swords and pierced into the ocean of consciousness of Tangda and Gaoji. Tangda and Gaoji's eyes froze, and they fell into a state of confusion. The flying sword that Tangda had raised sank towards the bottom of the water. At the same time, two golden arrows suddenly shot into the foreheads of Tangda and Gaoji, and penetrated the back of their heads. When he came out, two puffs of blood dispersed in the water. Success. A trace of disbelief and horror flashed in the eyes of Tangda and Gaoji, who had recovered from their absent-minded state, and then their eyes quickly dimmed. As soon as Tangda and Gaoji died, the trapped beast net covering Lin Su was ineffective. Lin Su got out of the net, and with his consciousness, he collected the trapped beast net into the spiritual field space. Thank you, Senior, for your life-saving grace, otherwise Song's life would have been lost in the hands of Tang Enda today. Song Yulong bowed respectfully to Lin Su. Although Lin Su was now in the shape of a spiritualized snow python, in Song Yulong's opinion, he was an old monster who was at least in the pill formation stage. Moreover, Lin Su instantly made Tangda and Gaoji, the two of them fell into a state of confusion, and then put away Tangda's trapping net. Lin Su didn't have a storage ring or storage bag on him, so he was able to put things away like this. Song Yulong seemed to understand. The power of space. It's not a life-saving grace. We can't kill these two people without your help. We are cooperation. Lin Su couldn't speak human words now, so he could only rely on his spiritual consciousness to transmit sounds. He looked at the bodies of Tangda and Gaoji sinking at the bottom of the water, and moved his body across their fingertips to take off their storage rings. It came down and was collected into the spirit field space. Boy, what did you mean by the reward you told these two people before? After looking at Song Yulong, who had been staring at him, Lin Su asked via voice message. Back to senior, it's like this. Song Yulong didn't hide anything, and revealed his talent for sensing monsters and his agreement with Tangda. The talent of sensing monsters? No wonder I was discovered. Lin Su finally knew how he was found. It turned out to be because of Song Yulong's weird talent. No, the water repellent charm is about to expire. The waterproof light shield that was close to Song Yulong's body suddenly began to shake, and there were faint signs of rupture. Song Yulong's expression changed drastically, and he rushed towards the sea quickly. This kid is interesting, maybe he can help me a lot. After escaping from the trapped beast net, Lin Su has been observing Song Yulong. After all, he is too weak now. Even Song Yulong, a small casual cultivator at the 7th level of Qi refining stage, is a big threat to him. After observing for a while, Lin Su found that there was no greed or malice in Song Yulong's eyes other than awe and curiosity, and a thought suddenly flashed through his mind. Your name is Song Yulong, right? I want to make a deal with you. With a swing of his body, Lin Su chased Song Yulong and floated to the surface of the sea. He was floating on the ultraviolet sea a few meters away from Song Yulong and said to Song Yulong. Deal? Senior, what deal do you want to make with me? Song Yulong looked at Lin Su warily. In his opinion, Lin Su was an old monster above the pill formation stage who took away his body after accidentally losing his body. How could he want to make a deal with a young casual cultivator like him in the Qi refining stage? Song Yulong, I think you have also guessed that I am not a snow python with spiritual eyes in its infancy, I just took away the body. I want to pretend to be your spiritual pet and follow you into the city. In return, I can guide you in your cultivation. I wish you reached the foundation building stage. What do you think of this transaction? Lin Su thought very clearly that he was now a monster, and he was also a first-level monster. He had no power to protect himself in this chaotic sea of stars. The best way was to find someone to rely on, and the Qi refining in front of him Song Yulong, a small casual cultivator on the 7th floor, is a good choice. With Song Yulong's help, Lin Su can enter the city of human monks and use his ability to refine pills and weapons to earn spiritual stones and genius treasures to improve his cultivation as quickly as possible. This is safer than surviving alone in the sea. More. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 82. Pretending to be my spiritual pet. Song Yulong's eyes widened. He never expected that Lin Su would propose such a transaction condition. Why, don't you want to? Yes, of course I do. Whoever doesn't want to is a fool. Lin Su said that he would help Song Yulong break through to the foundation building stage. This was a piece of cake in the sky. Song Yulong never thought that such a good thing would happen to him. If he didn't agree, he would be really out of his mind. Okay. But I have one more condition, that is, you swear a soul blood oath and you will never do anything detrimental to me. Similarly, I will also swear a soul blood oath and will never do anything detrimental to you. From now on, our relationship will be a mutually beneficial relationship. After what happened to Chen Tao, Lin Su learned well. The oath of this divine soul blood oath must be perfect and not allow the other party to find any loopholes. Never do anything detrimental to him. This is the best blood oath Lin Su has ever thought of. Take an oath. No problem, I will swear this, Junior. Lin Su was worried that Song Yulong would be detrimental to him. Why wasn't Song Yulong worried that an old monster like Lin Su would turn his back on him after taking advantage of him? Lin Su's current proposal could be said to be exactly what Song Yulong wanted. At the moment, Song Yulong swore a blood oath without any hesitation. Lin Su then also swore the soul blood oath, and revealed a smile that seemed quite weird to Song Yulong. I'm about the same age as you, and I'm a monk in the foundation building stage, and I'm not a monk from this chaotic sea of stars, I come from the world of immortal cultivation. Anyway, the soul blood oath has been sworn, and Song Yulong and Lin Su have now become a grasshopper on the same rope. Lin Su felt that there was no need to hide Song Yulong's secrets, so as not to increase suspicion in the future, so he was betrayed by Chen Tao and Zhao. Song Yulong was told about the Deiji self-destruction, but Lin Su concealed the matter about the linked yen space. He only said that for some reason he did not die after self-destruction, and he also came to this chaotic sea of stars to seize the body and reach this infancy stage. The spiritual eye of the snow python. I never expected that you, senior, would have such a legendary story. It's incredible that you can still survive by self-destructing your deity. Song Yulong was dumbfounded and amazed. There was no need for Lin Su to lie to him, so this must be true. My real name is Lin Su. You can just call me by my name. Senior sounds weird. Although he was pretending to be a spiritual pet, he had to pretend to be like it so as not to be noticed by others. After thinking about it, Lin Su searched for the method of signing an equal contract from the inherited memory of the spiritual eye snow python, and urged the demon to UN formed a ring-shaped soul mark, and one part entered Song Yulong's soul, and one part entered his own soul. Brother Lin, what are you doing? Feeling that there was suddenly an inexplicable relationship between himself and Lin Su, Song Yulong opened his eyes in shock and looked at Lin Su in confusion. Since you are pretending to be a spiritual pet, others may notice it, so it is better to sign an equal contract. Anyway, this equal contract does not have any restrictions on both parties, and it also allows us to communicate directly telepathically, which is much more convenient. Lin Su is only a first-level monster now. He has not yet refined the crossbones in his throat and cannot speak human words. If he wants to communicate with Song Yulong, he must use the method of spiritual consciousness to transmit sounds. This is not a big deal in normal times. But there are quite a few hidden dangers. Spiritual consciousness will cause fluctuations in the sound transmission. Once there are old monsters with advanced spiritual consciousness or monks with magic weapons and secret skills that can track spiritual consciousness, they will definitely be interested in the relationship between Lin Su and Song Yulong. If the relationship becomes suspicious, it will bring unexpected troubles, so it is better to sign an equal contract to be on the safe side. Brother Lin is considering that this is indeed much more convenient and safer. Feeling Lin Su's voice ringing deep in his heart, Song Yulong showed a smile on his face. As expected of a person who has experienced the test of life and death, his thoughts are much more delicate than his. Jade Dragon, Dongji City is thousands of miles away from here, and we won't be able to get there in a while. Let's practice here for a while, just in time to see what good things those two guys have in their storage rings. Lin Su was interrupted when he was condensing the dragon energy before. Now that he is out of danger, he naturally has to continue to condense the dragon energy, so that even if he encounters any danger, he will at least have some ability to protect himself. Moreover, Tangda and Gaoji's storage rings had been put into the spiritual field space by Lin Su before. Before they had time to take a closer look, they thought there should be a lot of good things, and it should not be a problem to support him and Song Yulong's practice for a period of time. Song Yulong didn't have any objections to Lin Su's proposal. Anyway, it was different wherever he practiced. Lin Su was once a monk in the foundation building period, so he was right. Lin Su chose the original spiritual eye snow python's lair as the place to practice. This is the cave with the most spiritual energy in the entire Huakao Bay, and it is also the most hidden. If it weren't for Song Yulong's perceptual talent, Tangda and Gaoji would not have been able to practice. It would be impossible to find this cave. Let's see what good things are in the storage rings of those two monks first. Arriving at the lair, Lin Su's consciousness moved. The two storage rings that he had originally stored in the spiritual field space appeared on the ground in front of him, and he put in a trace of his consciousness to examine them. There are so many good things. It seems that these two people are doing a lot of killing and smuggling. The 2 storage rings add up to thousands of mid-grade spiritual stones, tens of thousands of low-grade spiritual stones, as well as many precious heavenly materials and earthly treasures, as well as some low-level magic weapons and talismans. This was something that Lin Su had never had before. He didn't like it, but now it is a great thing for him. We are now in a cooperative relationship. Each person owns half of the stuff. This is yours, so keep it. After evenly placing the contents of the 2 storage rings into the 2 storage rings, Lin Su handed one of them to Song Yulong. Thank you, Brother Lin. Thank you very much. Song Yulong, a young casual cultivator in the Qi training period, had never seen so many spiritual stones and treasures from heaven and earth. He was laughing so hard that he couldn't even close his mouth. What should we do with the bodies of these 2 spirit-eyed snow pythons? Everything else was divided evenly, leaving only the bodies of the 2 spirit-eyed snow pythons. Speaking of which, these were also the parents of Lin Su's current body. Lin Su really couldn't bear to divide them. Jade Dragon, I'll leave the bodies of these 2 spirit-eyed snow pythons to you. After all, they can be regarded as the parents of my current body. I really can't do it. Song Yulong nodded and put away the body of the spirit-eyed snow python. Monks are also human beings. In any case, what Lin Su is taking away are the offspring of 2 spirit-eyed snow pythons. It is normal if he can't do it. Then it is up to him. Just deal with it yourself, and then we'll share the number of spirit stones you get. After allocating the things, it was time to continue condensing the dragon's energy. Lin Su used spirit stones to set up a small spirit gathering circle and entered it in a flash. Jade Dragon, I want to practice with all my strength now, so I have to ask you to protect me. Although he knew that the cave was extremely hidden, Lin Su still warned Song Yulong. Brother Lin, you can practice with peace of mind, I will not let anyone disturb you. Song Yulong patted his chest and agreed, and was also very curious about how Lin Su practiced. Crossing his body and raising his head, Lin Su opened his mouth and used the Xianxia dragon transformation technique. A trace of heaven and earth spiritual energy gathered towards his mouth. With the help of the spirit gathering array, the heaven and earth spiritual energy, the gathering speed has doubled compared to the previous one in the coral reef cave. My dear, the speed of absorbing spiritual energy is almost the same as mine. You are worthy of being a former foundation building monk. You are indeed amazing. Feeling the spiritual energy of heaven and earth gathering rapidly towards Lin Su's mouth, Song Yulong couldn't help but be a little stunned. He had seen the cultivation of monsters more than once. Not to mention the first-level monsters, they were the third-level monsters that were equivalent to his cultivation level, absorbing spiritual energy. His speed was less than 1/3 of Lin Su's. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth circulates in Lin Su's meridian circle after circle. Every time it circulates, a part of it will be compressed, slowly changing from colorless to light yellow, and then from light yellow to golden yellow. Transform little by little. Half a year passed in a flash. It's been half a year, and I don't know how long Brother Lin will continue to practice. The aura of the spirit-eyed snow python has almost dissipated. It's not safe to stay in this place any longer. Song Yulong woke up again from his trance. Looking at Lin Su, who was still practicing in the same posture, he sighed worriedly. After the death of the 2 spirit-eyed snow pythons, the atmosphere in the cave began to slowly fade, and now it has almost dissipated. A few days ago, a second-level hard-shell monster crab came and wandered outside the cave. Song Yulong drove him away. This was only a level 2 monster. If a level 3 or more powerful monster came, Song Yulong would not be sure he could resist it. Lin Su also heard Song Yulong's sigh. Although he was practicing, he still retained a spiritual consciousness to pay attention to the surrounding movements. He also knew that Song Yulong had driven away the second-level hard-shell monster crab before. We're still a little bit away. We're still a little bit away from successfully condensing the dragon's energy. Jade Dragon, just hold on for a few more days. The condensation of dragon energy cannot be stopped. Once it stops, all previous efforts will be wasted. In the past 6 months, the spiritual energy of heaven and earth flowing in Lin Su's meridians has been compressed to a state close to pure golden liquid. It is still a little short of the final step. The dragon's energy has been transformed, and nothing can stop it at this time. Another half-month later, Lin Su finally felt that the pure golden liquid spiritual energy of heaven and earth in his body had been compressed to the limit, reaching the critical value of transformation. Start transforming. Suppressing the ecstasy in his heart, Lin Su stopped absorbing the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, and according to the records in Xianxia dragon transformation technique, he injected the power of the soul into the pure golden liquid spiritual energy of heaven and earth, allowing it to fuse and transform. For the power of the dragon. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 83. Strange, why can't you blend in? The pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth is extremely exclusive. Lin Su's soul power cannot be integrated into it at all. Every time he feels that he is about to integrate, he will be squeezed out by an inexplicable force. Diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit, diamond suit. After trying this several times, Lin Su became confused. The Xianxia dragon transformation technique said that the power of the soul must be integrated into the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth compressed to the limit to form dragon energy. But now he can't blend in at all. What should I do? Is it necessary to pour the power of the soul into the condensed spiritual energy of heaven and earth like when refining weapons and forging iron? Such an idea suddenly appeared in Lin Su's mind, and the more he thought about it, the more likely it became. Gritting his teeth, Lin Su gathered the power of his soul together and slammed into the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth. Boom! Lin Su's whole body shook suddenly, and red blood flowed from his eyes, ears, mouth, and nose. Brother Lin, what's wrong with you? Song Yulong on the side was frightened when he saw Lin Su's bleeding from his 7 orifices, and was about to rush into the spirit gathering array, but was stopped by Lin Su. I'm fine, don't worry. Although Lin Su's soul was shaken to the point of bleeding from his orifices, he was extremely happy. In that violent collision just now, the power of his soul had been successfully integrated into the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth. Although it was only a little bit, this approach has been proven to be correct. Keep on, keep up the good work. Lin Su took a breath, regrouped the power of the soul, and once again hit the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth. There was another violent vibration all over the body, and blood oozed out from Lin Su's 7 orifices again, and there was also a trace of soul power integrated into the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth. Come again. Collision after collision, Lin Su's whole body, no, it should be said that the entire snake body was dyed red with blood. Song Yulong, who was watching on the side, felt his heart beating wildly and secretly exclaimed, "My dear, this brother Lin is practicing what kind of technique is it? Why is it so scary? It has become a blood snake. It's still a little bit close, just 3 more times will be enough." The collision of souls not only caused blood dripping all over the body, but also caused damage to the soul. Lin Su was now on the verge of collapse and might faint at any time. He was so stubborn that he could no longer hold on. There are still 3 times to go. We must hold on and condense the dragon energy. I want to become stronger, and I want to return to the world of immortality to find Zuier. Condensing dragon energy is the first and indispensable step in practicing Xianxia dragon transformation technique. If the dragon energy cannot be formed, Xianxia dragon transformation technique will not be able to continue practicing. If Lin Su wants to become stronger, if he wants to transform into a human and return to the world of immortality, he must practice the Xianxia dragon transformation technique, so he can only persevere and must persevere. Boom. 2 more strikes. Boom. One more, one more. Lin Su's whole body was shaking violently. Song Yulong on the side couldn't bear to watch any more, but he didn't dare to disturb Lin Su, for fear that Lin Su would fail because of his own problems. Ah! With a violent shout from the bottom of his heart, Lin Su gathered the power of his soul for the last time and hit the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth. Buzz! This time, the moment the power of the divine soul was integrated into the pure golden liquid aura of heaven and earth, a strange power was emitted, which offset the power of the shock. Immediately after merging with the power of the divine soul, the aura of heaven and earth began to move forward. Of compression. This process was very fast, almost completed in an instant. All the true energy and spiritual energy of heaven and earth in Lin Su's body disappeared completely, leaving only a trace of pale golden semi-solid. Dragon Chi, this is Dragon Chi, finally succeeded. Lin Su burst out laughing. Well, that doesn't seem very appropriate. To be precise, it was a spirit-eyed snow python covered in blood. It grinned and spat out snake messages and kept making hissing snake sounds, even though it was with Lin Su signed an equality contract, and Song Yulong, who could vaguely sense Lin Su's joy, found the scene very unpleasant. Brother Lin, are you okay? After swallowing, Song Yulong asked softly. It's okay, of course I'm okay. I feel great now. Lin Su felt really good now. After the dragon's energy was formed, it emitted a strange power, repairing all the damage to Lin Su's soul before. Lin Su could even feel that his soul was significantly stronger than before. Not only that, although there was only a trace of dragon energy, Lin Su could feel the terrifying power contained in it, which was much more powerful than the combined power of all the demonic energy in his body before. Rightward arrow. This is the power of dragon energy, so powerful. No wonder the dragon race has become the most powerful race among the monsters. Lin Su admired in his heart that his previous hardships were finally not in vain. He finally succeeded in cultivating the first ray of dragon's energy. The next step is to continue to grow this ray of dragon's energy and let it continue to transform himself. Physical body and meridians. Dragon Chi, also known as Dragon Yuan, replaced the demon Yuan in Lin Su's body. From now on, everything he cultivated through the Xianxia dragon transformation technique would be Dragon Yuan. Dragon Yuan is transformed from the extreme concentration of demonic Yuan. It is much more advanced than demonic Yuan. This is why the dragon clan can become the strongest race among the demonic beasts. Yulong, I've thanked you for your hard work these days. Let's set off for Dongji City. Lin Su and Lin Su have been practicing in this cave for more than half a year. Now that Lin Su has condensed the first ray of dragon essence, it is time to leave for Dongji City. With the cultivation levels of Lin Su and Song Yulong, it would be simply wishful thinking to go to Dongji City thousands of miles away safely on their own. Fortunately, Tangda left a spiritual boat in his storage ring that could fly in the air. You can also fly freely in the rough sea of stars. You only need to put in enough spirit stones to start. If you enter a map into the spirit boat, you can also set a destination and let the spirit boat automatically sail along the determined route. Yulong, please introduce to me the situation of Chaos Xingai and Dongji City. After filling enough spirit stones into the spirit boat, setting the destination as Dongji City and setting the route, the spirit boat started to move like an arrow off the string. Lin Su, who was in it, was still interested in the spirit boat at first. I was quite surprised to be able to sail automatically, and soon lost interest. I looked at Song Yulong, who was sitting beside him a little bored, and asked. The Chaos Star Sea is an extremely vast sea area. Song Yulong was also bored. When Lin Su asked, he couldn't help but get excited and introduced in detail. The Chaos Star Sea is an extremely vast sea area, dotted with islands of various sizes. Most of the islands are cities of human monks. Of course, there are also many islands that are sparsely populated. The city and the land around the city are the territory of human monks, while the ocean is the territory of monsters. Naturally, the cultivation resources on the island cannot be compared with the vast ocean, so human monks often enter the ocean to explore. They will search for genius treasures and spiritual stone veins, and of course they will also hunt monsters and beasts to obtain various materials for alchemy and weapon refining, just like Tangda and Gaoji did before. There are many forces distributed in the Sea of Chaos stars, among which the most famous and powerful ones are Xianxia Temple and Spirit Beast Island. The Xianxia Temple is an alliance of monks in the chaotic star sea. The one with the highest cultivation level is said to have reached the late nascent soul stage. Song Yulong is not very clear about who he is specifically. The monks in the entire chaotic star sea are proud to join the Xianxia Palace. But if you want to join the Xianxia Palace, you must at least have a cultivation level in the late stage of foundation building. Therefore, for most casual cultivators, the Xianxia Palace only exists in legends and is out of reach. The Spirit Beast Island is a huge island where many different kinds of spirit beasts are kept in captivity. It basically has branches in every major city, selling spirit beasts and pets to monks, and of course also purchasing various rare spirit beasts. Favorite, and the price is extremely generous. The reason why Tangda and Gaoji wanted to capture Linsu was to sell Linsu to Spirit Beast Island in exchange for spiritual stones and other cultivation resources. Unlike humans, monster beasts do not have any powerful organizations. Although there are some top existences in the nascent soul stage among monster beasts, they all work independently. The higher the cultivation level of monster beasts, the more they live in inaccessible deep seas or deserts. On the island, it is not easy to set foot within the scope of human activities. Most of the time, monster beasts will stay in the deep sea, but for some unknown reason, every 20 years, a tide of monsters will break out in the entire Chaos Star Sea, and various kinds of monsters living in the deep sea the monsters will all swarm onto the land and launch a fierce attack on the city where the human monks live. During the outbreak of the beast tide, only staying within the city is safe. Over the years, human monks have clearly understood the time and scale of the beast tide outbreak, and it is rare for a city to be breached by monster beasts. After every beast tide, there will be a large number of monster corpses left behind, so the beast tide has become the best opportunity for human monks to obtain monster materials. Except for the time of the beast tide, human monks can only venture into the ocean if they want to obtain materials from monster beasts. Every day, monks return from the ocean with a load of genius treasures or rare materials from monster beasts. Of course, monks continue to fall into the ocean. It sounds similar to the situation in the world of immortality. Lin Su sighed inwardly. It seemed that neither the world of immortality nor the Sea of Chaos could escape the law of the jungle. It was just that the number and strength of monsters in the Sea of Chaos were dozens of times greater than in the world of immortality. So Yulong, you used to rely on your natural ability to sense monsters to earn spiritual stones and other training resources. Yes, there are many casual cultivators like me in Dongji City, not to mention in the entire chaotic Star Sea. I don't know how to refine elixirs, and secondly I don't know how to refine weapons. Thanks to this talent, I can rely on helping others. Looking for traces of monsters and accumulating spirit stones to practice till now. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 84. Song Yulong's words were quite helpless. In this chaotic sea of stars, it is really difficult for the three-nose casual cultivators with no power and no background to obtain the resources for cultivation. Otherwise, he would not pay $100 for a low grade. The reward for the spirit stone was employed by Tangda and Gaoji, two foundation building monks who had always had a bad reputation. Jade Dragon, there is no need to worry. You and I are both prosperous and devastated now. I will definitely do my best to help you. Sooner or later there will be a place for us in this chaotic sea of stars. Successfully condensing Long Yuan greatly boosted Lin Su's confidence. He could clearly feel that the innate limitations of the spirit-eyed snow python had been completely broken. As long as he continued to practice well, one day he would evolve into a dragon and become a leader among monsters. One at the top of the pyramid. Song Yulong is now Lin Su's partner and has signed an equal contract. Lin Su naturally wants to find ways to help him improve his cultivation. Only when Song Yulong's cultivation and status are improved, will their safety be more guaranteed and will their ability be improved. Have the opportunity to obtain more training resources. The innate ability of the spiritual eye snow python spiritual eye is called spiritual eye to break the illusion by immortal cultivators. It can see through numerous obstacles and reach the true heart. All traps and environments are useless under the spiritual eye to break the illusion. You can also see a person's spiritual root attributes and cultivation talent. After Lin Su seized this spiritual eye snow python, he naturally had the innate ability of spiritual eye of destruction. He had carefully observed Song Yulong a long time ago. This guy is a monk with the dual spiritual roots of gold and fire, and his qualifications are still good. It's pretty good, but it's just that my luck hasn't been very good all the time. In addition, as a casual cultivator with the three nothings, my cultivation progress has been so slow. Yulong, I give you the set of training techniques. Lin Su gave Song Yulong a set of jade slips of martial arts, which recorded the sword cultivation technique of the sword god sect Qinglian sword technique. It was a first-class technique that Lin Su got from Zi Zhouer, because Lin Su had Xiantian Beijian is such a top ancient skill, so this set of sword cultivation skills has always been used as a reference. Although it was just a reference technique for Lin Su, it was an incredible technique for Song Yulong. This was enough for him to practice to the golden elixir stage. Brother Lin, what should I say? Thank you so much, you are truly my noble man. The skills that Song Yulong is practicing now are just street goods in Dongji City, and they are not even ranked among the third rate. He is able to practice to the foundation building stage. When he thought that he could actually obtain such first-class sword cultivation skills, he couldn't help but think at the moment. Extremely happy, he thanked Lin Su repeatedly. Yulong, as I said just now, we are on the same boat now. As your strength increases, I will benefit accordingly. Lin Su waved his tail. He originally wanted to wave his hands, but where did the snake's body come from? So he could only wave his tail to signal Song Yulong not to be so polite. Yulong, just throw away your original skills and practice the Qinglian sword technique from now on. As for the skills after the pill formation period, I will help you prepare them if you have the opportunity in the future. Song Yulong is still at the 7th level of the Qi training stage, so switching to Kung Fu training will not have any impact. As long as he can break through to the foundation building stage as soon as possible, he will be able to gain a firm foothold in Dongji City. Brother Lin, don't worry, I will definitely work hard to practice and I will never let down Brother Lin's expectations. Song Yulong looked solemn and bowed respectfully to Lin Su. Song Yulong swears to heaven that in the future, if Brother Lin has a destiny, I, Mr. Song, will never say anything, and I will fight with swords, mountains, and seas of fire. If you violate this oath, you will be punished. Punished by 5 thunderbolts. This guy is really an honest man. Lin Su was a little surprised when he saw Song Yulong actually made a poisonous oath. It seemed that he had chosen the right partner. Okay, Jade Dragon, you can meditate on this Qinglian sword technique with peace of mind. I have to refine the horizontal bones in my throat. Lin Su felt that it was very awkward to always communicate through telepathy, so it would be easier to refine the crossbones. He could not regain his human form for the time being, so it was a comfort to be able to speak human words. Song Yulong excitedly sat on the corner of the spirit boat to comprehend the green lotus sword technique in the jade slip, while Lin Su crossed his body and urged Long Yuan to start refining the horizontal bone in the throat. Refining Henggu is not troublesome. The reason why most monsters do not refine Henggu is either because they have not developed their spiritual intelligence and do not know how to refine it, or they simply do not bother to refine it. It only took 2 days for Lin Su to successfully refine the transverse bone in his throat. After smacking his lips a few times, Lin Su tried to hum a small tune. It was a clear childish sound rather than a hissing. The snake chirped and couldn't help but cheered excitedly. "Brother Lin, can you speak now?" Song Yulong was originally practicing the green lotus sword technique in meditation when he was suddenly awakened by Lin Su's cheers. He thought someone was coming to the spirit boat. When he saw that it was Lin Su, he couldn't help but asked in surprise. "Yeah, it feels so good to be able to talk." Lin Su had never thought that he would be so excited about being able to speak human words. Although the voice he made was a childish voice, his current body was originally that of a child, which was quite suitable. Rightward arrow. The speed of the spirit boat is not too fast. It can travel 100 miles on the sea in one day. However, it is extremely stable. No matter how big the wind and waves are, it does not sway at all. Moreover, the spirit boat seems to have the ability to explore. Function: once a powerful monster aura appears in front of you, it will automatically take a detour, so you didn't encounter any trouble at all for several days. After the first wisp of dragon essence is formed, if you want to continue practicing, you must wait for the body's meridians to transform into dragon meridians under the effect of dragon essence. According to the record in Xianxia Hualongju, this process takes about a year, and this process is spontaneous. Even if Lin Su practices now, it will be useless. Bored Lin Su acted as Song Yulong's mentor and guided him to practice Qinglian Anju. With Lin Su's guidance, Song Yulong mastered Qinglian Anju very quickly. In just a few days, he completely transformed the true essence condensed from the original practice into Qinglian Anyuan. Although his cultivation level was reduced to the 5th level of Qi refining, his strength was greatly enhanced. 10 days later, the spirit boat arrived at the destination, Dongji Island, where Dongji City is located. Tangda and Gaoji's storage rings only had a trap for catching monsters, but no spirit beast bag for monsters to live in. Lin Su could only temporarily coil around Song Yulong's shoulders. "Brother Lin, you'd better not speak after entering the city to avoid unnecessary trouble." When they arrived at the gate of Dongji City, Song Yulong paused and reminded Lin Su in his heart. The number of spiritual snow pythons is already rare. It is already a very eye-catching thing to have a juvenile spiritual snow python as a spiritual pet. What's more, the owner is just a small casual cultivator at the 5th level of Qi refining. Song Yulong is already worried that he will be targeted by someone with ulterior motives. If Lin Su speaks again, it will be completely over. He will definitely be targeted. "Don't worry, I know the stakes." Lin Su thought about it, swung his body and got into Song Yulong's collar. "Yulong, I think I'd better hide a little, so as not to be noticed by someone and cause trouble." Song Yulong's cultivation is still too low after all. If someone really takes a fancy to Lin Su and wants to forcibly rob him, Lin Su and Song Yulong really have no way. They can't expose their strength in this Dongji city and fight with others, right? That would be even more troublesome. "That's good." Song Yulong nodded. "Then I'm sorry, Brother Lin, you hide first and come out when we get home." Walking to the city gate and paying the entrance fee of 2 low-grade spirit stones, Song Yulong quickly entered Dongji City, looked around and saw that no one noticed him, and dodged into an alley. After turning around, he came to a bamboo forest in the northwest corner of Dongji City and dodged in. Deep in the bamboo forest, there is a small house made entirely of bamboo. It looks very hidden. If Song Yulong hadn't led the way, Lin Su would never have thought that there would be such a bamboo house in this inconspicuous bamboo forest. "Yulong, is this your residence in Dongji City?" "Not bad, remote and quiet, with abundant spiritual energy." How did you find such a good place? After entering the bamboo house, Lin Su got out from Song Yulong's collar, jumped onto his shoulder, looked around, and praised. This bamboo forest belongs to the Kailing Pavilion and has been abandoned. I discovered it by accident and rented it for a low-grade spirit stone per month and built this bamboo house myself. Song Yulong smiled a little embarrassedly. I know this place is simple, Brother Lin, just make do with it for now. It's okay, I think it's pretty good. After Lin Su rushed out of the door and wandered around, he nodded with satisfaction. The spiritual energy of heaven and earth is sufficient here. As long as we set up a spirit gathering array, it is not inferior to those inns at all. The most important thing is that the environment here is quiet and secluded. I think there are few people here normally. It will come, for us now it is much better than staying in an inn or other houses and courtyards. Yulong, you have a good eye. Brother Lin, I'm glad you are satisfied. Hearing Lin Su's words, Song Yulong also smiled, and then asked curiously, Brother Lin, is the spirit gathering array you are talking about the kind of array that was set up in the Huakao Bay cave before? Song Yulong's question made Lin Su stunned. Yulong, haven't you heard of the spirit gathering array? Spirit gathering arrays are extremely common in the world of immortal cultivation. Even casual cultivators at the first level of Qi training can basically set them up. Is there no spirit gathering array in this Chaos Star Sea? How is this possible? I have heard of it, but only the array masters of the aristocratic families can set up spirit gathering arrays. Casual cultivators like me have no chance to come into contact with them at all. Song Yulong shook his head with some self-mockery. At that time, when he saw Lin Su using several spirit stones to set up the array, the speed of spiritual energy gathering increased sharply. He suspected that it was a spirit gathering array. Now it seems to be true. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 85. Yulong, how much do those so-called array masters charge for setting up a spirit gathering array? Lin Su suddenly thought of a way to make money. As the saying goes, things are valuable because they are rare. Since even low-level arrays like the spirit gathering array are firmly controlled by array masters from major families and sects, if he teaches Song Yulong to set up some arrays, can't he use it to earn spirit stones? Of course, Lin Su can refine elixirs and magic weapons in the spirit field space for sale, but if a casual cultivator at the 5th level of the Qi training period sells a large number of elixirs and magic weapons, it will probably be noticed in a short time, and then it will be troublesome again. I hope readers will remember our domain name Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. It is best to sell a small amount of elixirs, and then let Song Yulong learn to set up arrays to make money. I think it should be enough to support the two of them to practice to the foundation building stage. It depends on the size and effectiveness of the spirit gathering array. Generally, the worst one will cost dozens of low-grade spirit stones. Brother Lin, why are you asking this? Song Yulong is an honest man. He didn't react for a while. Lin Su laughed and told him his plan, which made Song Yulong's eyes light up. What a good idea. This makes money much faster than helping others find monsters. Song Yulong was happy for a while, but suddenly hesitated. Brother Lin, can I become a formation master with my qualifications? I won't embarrass you, right? I'm not becoming a formation master. What does it have to do with qualifications? Lin Su rolled his eyes. There are many people with worse qualifications than you, but they can easily set up formations, right? Yulong, I'm not saying anything bad about you, you just lack confidence. There will be many things you have never encountered when you are with me in the future. You can't always doubt and deny yourself like this. Lin Su's words made Song Yulong very ashamed. He really didn't have much confidence in his long-term unlucky life as a casual cultivator. This was his biggest shortcoming. Brother Lin, what you are teaching me is that I lack confidence. What others can do, I, Song Yulong, can do as well. Please teach me the art of formations, Brother Lin. With a fixed gaze, Song Yulong bowed deeply to Lin Su with both hands clasped together, and pleaded firmly. You are a teachable boy. Lin Su nodded with satisfaction. If you don't even have the most basic self-confidence in cultivating immortals and cultivating your mind, then what's the point of being brave and diligent, and what's the point of ascending to heaven? Although becoming a partner with Song Yulong is forced by the situation, if the other party is not useful, Lin Su will never waste time and energy on him. Taking a jade slip out of the spiritual field space and handing it to Song Yulong, Lin Su shook his head and said, here are some basic formations, including the spirit gathering formation. Study them yourself first. If you don't understand anything, I'll explain it to you later. This formation jade slip was bought by Lin Su from the market when he was in the Sword God section. It was just some simple formations, and did not require any profound formation talent. I think it should not be difficult for Song Yulong. Song Yulong carefully took the jade slip, thanked him and went to study it himself. After Lin Su arranged a defensive formation around the bamboo house, he lay on the bamboo couch and his soul entered the spiritual field space. The last time he entered the spiritual field space, he was in a hurry. Lin Su did not check it carefully. When he was on the spirit boat, he did not dare to enter the spiritual field space at will for safety reasons. Now he can finally check it carefully. As in the past, there was no big change in the spiritual field space. The biggest difference is probably the green seedlings in the center of the spiritual field. The original green seedling had disappeared, and a palm-sized green lotus appeared. It seemed that Lin Su had not suffered any damage in the process of self-destruction of his Tao foundation, but had made considerable progress. Lin Su could feel the terrifying power contained in the green lotus, but this power was not something he could control, and he couldn't even borrow it. He could only sigh and move his eyes away from the green lotus. Hey, where are my magic weapons? Why are they all gone? After a closer look, Lin Su's face changed. His Qingming sword, Huajiao sword, mother and child chain blade, and the low-level magic weapons he had made when practicing refining in Wangtian Fairy City had all disappeared. Originally, they should have all been in the spiritual field space. The only things that did not disappear were the two low-grade magic weapons and spiritual swords he got from Tangde and Gaoji. Could it be that all these magic weapons were destroyed in the self-destruction? The spiritual field space was so small that you could see the end at a glance, except for the alchemy furnace that was more than one person tall and located next to the spiritual field. If there is nothing in the alchemy furnace, then I can only accept this fact. After carefully checking every inch of the spiritual field, but not finding any magic weapon, Lin Su had to turn his attention to the alchemy furnace. Now only the alchemy furnace has not been checked. After opening the lid of the alchemy furnace, Lin Su looked into the alchemy furnace, but his eyes widened in surprise. Iron essence, copper essence, refining crystal stone, silver sand. In the alchemy furnace, there are various raw materials for refining tools. Judging from the types and properties, they are exactly the materials after Lin Su's magic tools are decomposed. It seems that the magic tools have been decomposed by this alchemy furnace. I didn't expect that this alchemy furnace can not only refine pills and tools, but also decompose the formed magic tools and restore the purest materials. The depression of the disappearance of the magic weapon was completely replaced by great joy. This new function of the alchemy furnace is really amazing. Compared with it, the decomposed magic weapons such as the green moth sword, the fire dragon sword and the mother and child chain blade are simply insignificant. The value of these pure raw materials in the alchemy furnace is much higher than that of magic weapons such as the green moth sword. Lin Su didn't know why these magic weapons were put into the alchemy furnace, but he thought it should be caused by self-explosion. After all, the spiritual swords he got from Tangde and Gaoji after taking over the spirit eye snow python were not sucked into the alchemy furnace and decomposed. This shows that at least under normal circumstances, the alchemy furnace will not automatically suck magic weapons into it. Maybe I should verify the decomposition function of this alchemy furnace. After taking out all the raw materials in the alchemy furnace and putting them into the storage ring, Lin Su looked at the only 2 low-grade magic weapons and spiritual swords left on the side, stretched out his hand to suck them over, and threw them into the alchemy furnace. He needed to verify the decomposition ability of this alchemy furnace. Buzz. As soon as the lid of the alchemy furnace was closed, the entire alchemy furnace began to shake violently. After an incense stick of time, the shaking suddenly stopped and everything returned to calm. When the lid was opened, as Lin Su expected, several raw materials were quietly suspended in the alchemy furnace. Facts have proved that this alchemy furnace can indeed decompose magic weapons and restore them to the purest raw materials. Hey! It seems that the 5-element spirit sword can be officially refined. The first 5-element spirit bamboo has already matured and borne seeds, and the seeds have also been planted in the spirit field. When Lin Su left Wangtian Fairy City, he originally planned to find a quiet and safe place to refine the first 5-element spirit sword. As a result, he was ambushed and forced to self-destruct his foundation, and the matter of refining the 5-element spirit sword was put on hold. Now that Lin Su and Song Yulong have come to Dongji City, Lin Su can finally feel at ease to refine the 5-element spirit bamboo in the spirit field space. Not only that, in addition to the 5-element spirit bamboo, the original 5-element spirit sword needed iron essence, copper essence, refining crystal stone, silver sand, and other materials. Lin Su originally planned to earn more spirit stones and then buy and collect these materials, but the decomposition function of the alchemy furnace helped him solve this problem. The materials decomposed from his previous magic weapons were more than enough to refine a 5-element spirit sword. Putting the 5-element spirit bamboo into the alchemy furnace, Lin Su activated the soul fire and enveloped the alchemy furnace. Soon, the soul fire was sucked into the alchemy furnace and merged with the ground fire at the bottom of the alchemy furnace. Taking a deep breath, Lin Su carefully controlled the fused flame to wrap around a small section of the 5-element spirit bamboo. This was the first step of refining, melting the materials. Feeling the state of the 5-element spirit bamboo, Lin Su slowly increased the temperature of the flame. Melting the materials is the first step of refining, and it is also a very critical step, especially when facing precious materials such as the 5-element spirit bamboo. There is no room for error. If the flame temperature is not high enough, the 5-element spirit bamboo cannot be melted into liquid. If the temperature is too high, the spirituality of the 5-element spirit bamboo will be damaged. Lin Su can only concentrate on sensing the state of the 5-element spirit bamboo and slowly increase the temperature of the flame. Finally, when the temperature of the flame increases to a critical value, the 5-element spirit bamboo shows signs of melting, and the spirituality in it is not damaged. Now, keep this temperature. After stabilizing his mind, Lin Su controlled the flame to wrap the 5-element spirit bamboo in it and melt it completely. After several hours, the whole 5-element spirit bamboo was completely melted into a ball of liquid emitting 5-color light. Next, it should be purified. The flame continued to wrap the liquid, but the temperature was slightly lowered, just keeping it at a level where the spirit liquid would not condense. The green-red soul fire decomposed from the fusion flame and turned into a hammer to hit the 5-color liquid. Dang! A knocking sound like that of forging iron was heard, and a trace of black impurities was hammered out of the original liquid. The hammering lasted for 3 whole days until no more impurities could be hammered out of the 5-color original liquid. Although the entire original liquid was still emitting 5-color light, it became colorless and translucent. It's time to fuse other materials. Lin Su stretched out his hand and materials such as iron essence, copper essence, refining crystal stone, and silver sand flew into the alchemy furnace in sequence. Under the high temperature of the soul fire, they quickly melted into a mass of original liquid. Because of the decomposition function of the alchemy furnace, these materials were already quite pure and did not need Lin Su to purify them again. Under the control of the power of the soul, they moved towards the colorless and translucent solution emitting 5-color light. Start fusion. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 86. Under the control of Lin Su's soul power, various liquids were gradually integrated into the liquid of the 5-element spirit bamboo. I don't know if these materials were decomposed and purified by the alchemy furnace. The fusion process was very smooth and there were no accidents. Although there were no accidents, fusion was a long process after all. After 3 months, the various liquids finally merged into one, forming a liquid that emitted a 5-color halo. Unlike the colorless and translucent liquid before fusion, this liquid showed a light purple color. It can be condensed and engraved into the magic circle. The style of the 5-element spirit sword was recorded in Dantian Shenju, so Lin Su didn't need to think about it anymore. He just needed to follow the map. Under the control of the soul power, a long sword was formed soon. The sword body was purple and translucent. It was thinner than the general spirit sword. There were some mysterious patterns on the sword body. This was naturally formed in the 5-element spirit bamboo. In addition to the 5-element attributes, it also incorporated a trace of thunder and lightning power. Strange, doesn't the 5-element spirit sword only have the 5 elements of gold, wood, water, fire, and earth? How did the lightning power get integrated into it? The materials used by Lin Su did not contain any lightning attribute at all. Where did the lightning power that appeared out of thin air come from? Could it be soul fire? With this thought, Lin Su carefully sensed the attributes of the soul fire, and was surprised to find that it not only contained the lightning attribute, but also contained 7 attributes of gold, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, and poison. It turned out that Lin Su's 8 spiritual root attributes did not disappear with the self-explosion, but were all integrated into the soul. So I can still practice the Xianxia 5 elements thunder art. Lin Su suddenly felt an urge in his heart, wanting to try to release the 5 elements of divine thunder immediately, but now the 5 elements spirit sword has not been completely refined, he can only temporarily suppress this eager urge. After imprinting the 5 elements spirit gathering array into the sword, Lin Su thought about it and also imprinted the lightning spirit gathering array into it. The spiritual sword he had refined now was no longer a simple 5 elements spirit sword. Perhaps it would be more appropriate to call it the 5 elements thunder spirit sword. Soul power, merge. The array had been carved. According to the general refining method, removing the soul fire and letting it completely condense was considered a success. However, Lin Su had long planned to refine the 5 elements spirit sword into a lifelong magic weapon. At that moment, his hands changed and activated the soul branding technique to integrate the soul power into the sword body. Yin. As soon as the soul power was integrated into the 5 elements spirit sword, the 5 elements spirit sword emitted a crisp sword sound. In Lin Su's feeling, the 5 elements spirit sword seemed to have become a part of his body and soul. The sword is done. After collecting the soul fire, he opened the lid of the alchemy furnace, and the 5 elements spirit sword soared into the sky with a swish sound, flying rapidly through the spiritual field space, and the sound of the sword resounded throughout the space. Haha, what a good sword! Lin Su stretched out his hand and the 5 elements spirit sword flew in front of him, floating in front of him. Lin Su gently stroked the sword body and couldn't help but exclaimed. The newly born 5 elements spirit sword is only a top-grade treasure weapon, and has not yet reached the level of a spiritual weapon, but its sturdiness and attack power are several levels higher than those of ordinary top-grade magic weapons. The most important thing is that the 5 elements spirit sword can evolve. As Lin Su's cultivation level improves, the 5 elements spirit sword will slowly transform from a treasure weapon to a spiritual weapon, and it is not impossible to eventually reach the level of an immortal weapon. Of course, immortal weapons are still too far away for Lin Su. He is only a first-level monster now, and a top-grade treasure weapon is enough. The man is innocent, but he is guilty of possessing a treasure. This 5 elements spirit sword cannot be used easily. Most monsters use their own bodies and innate abilities to fight. Even the 9th and 10th level monsters, which are equivalent to the nascent soul cultivators, rarely refine magic weapons. In terms of refining pills and weapons, human cultivators have incomparable advantages over monsters. Lin Su is only a first-level monster now, but he has a high-quality magic weapon that can evolve. If this is leaked out, it will definitely cause great trouble. Therefore, this 5 elements spirit sword must not be easily revealed in front of people. Once it appears, it must not be left alive. Shua. Lin Su's mind moved, and the 5 elements spirit sword disappeared in the spiritual field space and appeared in the sea of Qi, slowly rotating around the sphere in the spiritual field space. Monsters are different from human cultivators. They have no Dantian but only sea of Qi. The sea of Qi of snakes is just at the 7-inch position, which is next to the heart. This is why snakes are in danger of death after being stabbed at the 7-inch position. Yimu Divine Thunder. Wu Tu Divine Thunder. Genjin Divine Thunder. Gui Shui Divine Thunder. Bing Huo Divine Thunder. After the 5 elements spirit sword was refined, Lin Su could not wait to release the 5 elements divine thunder in the spirit field space. Boom 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 boom. Looking at the 5 lightnings exploding above the spirit field, Lin Su's face showed ecstasy. His guess was right. He could continue to practice the Xianxia 5 elements thunder art, but when releasing it, it no longer consumed the true essence, but became the consumption of the power of the soul. The current strength of Lin Su's soul is far higher than the true essence cultivation. With his current soul power, he is enough to continuously release the 5 elements divine thunder more than 10 times. Rightward arrow. It is said that those who survive a great disaster will have good fortune in the future. This is indeed true. Lin Su happily exited the spirit field space. As soon as he opened his eyes, he saw Song Yulong's big face facing him. He was startled and instinctively whipped his tail. Ouch! Song Yulong, who was caught off guard, was whipped, screamed, covered his face and fell back, with a blood mark appearing on his face. Yulong, are you okay? This is my instinctive counterattack. Why are you so close to me? After reacting, Lin Su rushed to Song Yulong's side. Looking at the blood marks on Song Yulong's face, he secretly felt ashamed. He didn't expect that his instinctive tail was so powerful that it could actually knock Song Yulong away. Brother Lin, I just saw that you have been keeping the same posture for half a year, and I was worried that something would happen to you. You don't have to react so much, right? Half of Song Yulong's face was swollen, and he smiled helplessly. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, this was just an instinctive reaction. Lin Su quickly took out a bottle of elixir, ground it and applied it on Song Yulong's face. Only then did Song Yulong's swelling and pain subside. Brother Song, if nothing important happens when I am practicing from now on, you'd better not get too close to me, lest a situation like today happens again. Seeing that the scars on Song Yulong's face began to swell and become scarred at a speed visible to the naked eye, Lin Su breathed a sigh of relief and warned Song Yulong. The physical body of the monster is really powerful, especially after Lin Su formed the Dragon Yuan. His body was transforming into the dragon all the time, and the physical strength was much stronger than before. Fortunately, Lin Su's current level is not too high. If his cultivation level were higher and his physical strength was stronger, Song Yulong might not be as simple as being injured on the face. Yes, I remember. Lin Su always has a mysterious energy about him, such as the magical storage space, and the previous practice method that is like a spirit out of body. Fortunately, the biggest advantage of Song Yulong is that he can control himself. Curiosity, never asking questions that shouldn't be asked, saved Lin Su a lot of time to explain. Yulong, how are you understanding the formation? It has been half a year. What Lin Su gave Song Yulong was just a simple formation jade slip. Half a year should be enough for him to master it, unless his qualifications are really poor. I have understood it all, but I haven't tried it yet. Song Yulong scratched his head and smiled shyly. Just set up a simple spirit gathering circle and let me see the effect. Song Yulong nodded as he was told, set up a small spirit gathering array and activated it with magic spells. His technique was skillful and unhurried. It was obvious that a lot of effort had been put into it. Not bad, not bad. It seems that Yulong, you still have some talent in formations. Lin Su felt the effect of the spirit gathering array and nodded with satisfaction. Starting from tomorrow, Yulong, you can help others set up arrays to earn spirit stones. The fee will be a little cheaper than those array mages. Don't be too cheap, or you'll make others jealous. Brother Lin, you don't have to wait until tomorrow. I'll go out now. If you do it one day earlier, you can earn one more day's worth of spiritual stones. Song Yulong waved his hand. There was nothing more important to him than starting to earn spiritual stones right away. Looking at the back of Song Yulong, who left in a hurry, Lin Su shook his head in amusement. Song Yulong seemed to be afraid of poverty. He would not let go of this opportunity to make money. It will take less than half a year to convert the meridians. I will also start refining some elixirs and magic weapons. When the meridians are completely transformed into dragon meridians, Lin Su will go all out to practice the Xianxia dragon transformation technique. At that time, he will not have much time to refine these low-level elixirs and magic weapons. It will take half a year to refine more and slowly sell them in exchange for spiritual stones for cultivation. As for earning a large amount of spiritual stones to cultivate the 5 elements spiritual bamboo, golden yang fruit, and heavenly spirit grass, that will have to wait until Lin Su reaches the 3rd level monster. Let's talk about the above. After setting up a warning formation, Lin Su's body entered the spirit field space. There was still some spiritual grass left for refining low-level elixirs such as Buki powder. Lin Su directly started the wholesale refining. The 4 divine consciousnesses controlled the soul fire at the same time to refine 4 parts of Qi Bubu powder. Anyway, Lin Su is already very familiar with the refining methods of these low-level elixirs, and there will be no mistakes in them. Brother Lin, your method is really great. I never thought that earning spiritual stones would be so easy. After nightfall, Song Yulong returned to the bamboo house with uncontrollable joy. Today he made 2 sales, helping 2 monks at the 10th level of Qi training to set up the spirit gathering circle, and earned nearly 100 yuan. Low-grade spiritual stones, which he had never even dared to think about before, and his harvest in just one afternoon had already caught up with what he had gained in the past month. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 87. 2 spirit gathering arrays cost nearly 100 low-grade spirit stones. Is this money so easy to make? How did you offer the price? Lin Su was a little surprised. Song Yulong had mentioned before that array masters charge a lot for setting up arrays, but he never thought that just 2 simple spirit gathering arrays could earn nearly 100 low-grade spirit stones. I raised the price by 10%. Song Yulong's answer surprised Lin Su even more. How come people still ask you to set up arrays even if the price is high? Are all the cultivators in Dongji City mentally ill? Are they the legendary fools with a lot of money? Brother Lin, you don't know that those formation masters are all worshippers of big forces. They won't easily set up formations for independent cultivators. It's useless to pay them. So although my price is a bit high, there are still a lot of cultivators willing to pay me to help set up formations. In fact, there are more than 2 cultivators who ask Song Yulong to set up formations today. He just chose the two with the highest bids. Song Yulong is very clear about the principle that too much is as bad as too little. If he performs too well, it will easily cause dissatisfaction among those formation masters of big forces. Yulong, you know it well, so I won't say more. These are the chi recovering powder I refined. Grind them into powder and sell them tomorrow. Buy some spiritual herbs for me. Here is the list. Lin Su handed a few bottles of chi recovering powder to Song Yulong, and the list of spiritual herbs was directly transmitted through telepathy. Brother Lin, did you refine the chi recovering powder? Song Yulong's eyes widened. He knew that Lin Su was once a cultivator in the foundation building stage. He didn't expect that Lin Su could actually refine pills. Although it was the lowest level chi recovering powder, Lin Su was only a first level monster now. Where did he get the Dao fire to refine pills? And it seemed that he had never seen Lin Su take out the alchemy furnace. Yes, I refined it. I can't tell you the specific reason. I can't explain it clearly in 1 or 2 sentences. Looking at Song Yulong's mouth, Lin Su suddenly realized that it was incredible that he could refine pills in his current state, but he didn't plan to explain anything to Song Yulong. Anyway, the other party knew that he could refine pills, and there was no need to tell him how he refined them. Song Yulong didn't say anything else. He nodded and put away the chi recovering powder. No matter how Lin Su refined the pills, it was always a good thing, right? Knowing the formation, having the skills, and now being able to refine pills, following such a partner, the immortal path should not be too bright. Song Yulong suddenly felt a little grateful to Tangda and Gaoji. If they hadn't hired him to search for the spirit ice snow python, he wouldn't have met Lin Su, and how could he have gained so much? In the following days, Song Yulong helped people set up the spirit gathering array twice a day. No matter how many people there were, he would only choose the two with the highest bids. Slowly, Song Yulong's name gradually spread in Dongji City. This newly emerged casual cultivation array master also appeared in the eyes of array masters of major forces. However, because Song Yulong only took 2 orders a day, it would not have any impact on them for the time being, so these array masters did not come to cause trouble. Lin Su continued to refine low-level pills such as Wiki-san, and then gave them to Song Yulong to sell in exchange for spirit stones, and then purchased some spirit herbs. Half a year passed in the blink of an eye. Lin Su and Song Yulong accumulated tens of thousands of low-grade spirit stones. The meridians in Lin Su's body were completely transformed into the meridians of the Dragon Clan. In addition to a main meridian around the spine, there were 4 more branches, and the Sea of Qi was expanded by more than 3 times. Apart from his appearance and physical strength, Lin Su is now no different from the dragons. Yulong, don't help others set up formations from tomorrow on, stay quiet for a while. Song Yulong has been helping others set up teleportation formations for half a year. Now, he is not only noticed by other formation masters, but also by some forces in Dongji City. If he doesn't stop, I'm afraid someone will come to recruit him soon. Being recruited by a big force is something that other formation masters would love to have, but it is troublesome for Song Yulong. The reason is very simple, because of Lin Su. Once recruited by a big force, he must live in a place arranged by the big force, and Lin Su will definitely be exposed, which is not a good thing for either Lin Su or Song Yulong. Okay, listen to you, we have earned enough spirit stones, and it's time to practice well. Song Yulong has always been obedient to Lin Su's words. He knows that his mind is not as delicate as Lin Su's, and he doesn't consider the problem as thoroughly as Lin Su. Since Lin Su said to stay quiet for a while, he will stay quiet for a while. Lin Su nodded. What he was most satisfied with about Song Yulong was that Song Yulong listened to his teachings. Although he was curious, he never asked questions that he shouldn't ask, which saved him a lot of trouble. Let's go to the market tomorrow to see if there are any good things that can be used. Lin Su has been in Dongji City for a year. He has always stayed in the bamboo house and has never gone out. He has only heard about what Dongji City is like from Song Yulong. Now that the transformation of the meridians has been completely completed, Lin Su can't help but want to see how different this big city in the Chaos Star Sea is from the world of immortal cultivation. Don't worry, I will just hide in your collar and not show up, and no one will find me. Seeing that Song Yulong was a little hesitant, Lin Su wagged his tail and added. Seeing that Lin Su insisted, Song Yulong couldn't say anything more, so the matter was settled. The next morning, Song Yulong came to the main street in the city as usual, and several people immediately surrounded him. Master Song, help my family set up the formation today, I will give you 50 low-grade spirit stones. Master Song, I have been waiting for a full month. Today, I will help my family set up the formation no matter what. I will pay 60 yuan of low-grade spiritual stones. Master Song, Lin Sulu, who was hiding in Song Yulong's collar, was happy and teased Song Yulong in his heart. Okay, Yulong, it's Master Song. It seems that you are quite famous in Dongji City. Okay, brother Lin, don't be ashamed of me. Don't you still know what my level is? Song Yulong secretly smiled bitterly, stretched out his hand and pressed it lightly. Everyone, I'm sorry, I have some things to deal with recently, and I won't help others set up formations from today on. What? No more formation? Why? Master Song, I've been waiting for a full month. How can you just say you don't want to do it? The crowd exploded upon hearing this, and Song Yulong could only apologize and squeeze out of the crowd to flee. Only those who ask for help are driven away. This is the first time I have seen someone being asked for help run away. Yulong, you are really good at being a master. Lin Su grinned in Song Yulong's collar. Song Yulong pretended not to hear and walked faster towards the market in the center of the city. Brother Lin, what do you want to buy? He had been walking around the market for a long time, but Lin Su only showed his head slightly and looked around, not seeing anything. Why are you in a hurry? This market is so big and we haven't even finished half of it yet. Let's continue. I don't know if it's been a long time since I've been exposed to such a lively scene. Lin Su actually found this noisy scene particularly interesting. They said that women can't get enough of shopping, and now he also feels like he can't get enough. Hey, wait. When he walked to a stall, Lin Su suddenly stopped Song Yulong and stared at a jade slip on the stall. Just now, the Qinglian in the spiritual field space sent out an extremely powerful wave that he familiar fluctuations, and the fluctuations are pointing to that jade slip. Brother Lin, what's wrong? Song Yulong was a little strange. Lin Su's voice seemed to have a sense of excitement, which was very different from Lin Su's usual calmness. That stall on the right, yes, that's the one, come closer. Lin Su urged in a somewhat hurried tone. Yes, it was this wave that became more intense as Song Yulong approached the stall. There must be something really good in this jade slip. When Qinglian was still a green seedling, there were two fluctuations. One was the discovery of the jade slip of the Dian Divine Ju, and the other was the discovery of the jade slip of the Xiantian Baojian. Each time it was a different matter for Lin Su. An incredible opportunity. This is the third time such fluctuations have occurred. Jade Dragon, buy that jade slip. You must buy it. Lin Su's tone was very exciting. Anything that could make Qinglian react was definitely something of great benefit to him. He must buy it. Brother Lin, do you know what is in this jade slip? I don't know, but it must be a good thing. Anyway, just buy it. Listen to me, you have to be careful not to let anyone notice it, and buy it quietly. Lin Su screamed in anxiety. Song Yulong is too honest. You said that you stared at the jade slip without blinking. Even a fool knows that you are very fond of it. Isn't this just a blackmail coming to someone's door? Sure enough, When the round-faced monk who set up the stall saw Song Yulong staring at a jade slip on his stall, he immediately stood up with a smile as if he was seeing a fat sheep. "This Taoist has a friendly eye, I am here, everything is good, especially this jade slip, which contains precious elixirs." Is it an elixir? Not a secret skill? A trace of disappointment flashed in Lin Su's heart, but then he immediately gave up the idea. Even if it was a pill, it must be a great pill, otherwise Qing Lian would never react to it. "Yulong, do as I say." Lin Su secretly taught Song Yulong in his heart, "It's a pill recipe. I thought it was a jade slip of some kind of martial arts. Besides, if it's a really precious pill recipe, wouldn't you keep it for yourself? It's true, here is the recipe for the transformation pill, which is extremely precious to monsters." Seeing that Song Yulong suddenly lost interest, the round-faced monk who set up the stall became anxious. The customer who finally came to the door couldn't just let him go. The recipe for the transformation pill. Lin Su was stunned at first, and then overjoyed. This was indeed a good thing that was extremely useful to him. No wonder Qing Lian reacted. Transformation pill, as the name suggests, is a spiritual elixir that allows monsters to transform in advance. This is of no use to monks, but it is an excellent elixir to monsters. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 88. Generally speaking, a demon beast can only transform into a human form when it reaches the nascent soul stage. The more powerful the demon beast's bloodline talent is, the more difficult it is to transform. It is even more difficult for the top demon beasts like the Dragon Clan to transform. Even if the cultivation reaches the god transformation stage, it may not be able to transform into a human form. However, the transformation pill can break this limitation. No matter what kind of demon beast's bloodline talent is, it can have the ability to transform into a human form, and it will not have any impact on the cultivation. Although the jade slip in front of him only records the pill formula, as long as there is a pill formula, the transformation pill can be refined. With the transformation pill, Lin Su does not need to hide in Song Yulong's collar like now. Transformation pill recipe. Why do I need this thing? I am not a demon beast. Although he really wanted to get the jade slip with the transformation pill formula, Lin Su still asks Song Yulong to pretend to be uninterested. Seeing Song Yulong turning around and wanting to leave, the round-faced monk who was setting up the stall hurriedly added, "Not only the recipe for the transformation pill, but also the recipe for the breath-suppressing pill." Breath-suppressing pill? What is that? Song Yulong had no intention of really leaving, but Lin Su asked him to pretend. Hearing this, he stopped and turned around to ask. It is a pill that can restrain all the breath in the body. As long as you take one pill, the breath of the whole body will be completely restrained within a certain period of time. Is it effective for both humans and monsters? Yes, it works for both. Although he didn't understand why Song Yulong mentioned monsters, the round-faced monk still answered truthfully. Almost done, Yulong, ask the price. I thought there was only the recipe for the transformation pill, but I didn't expect there was also a breath-suppressing pill. If it is successfully refined, then after I transform into a human form, I can hide the monster aura and blend in with the monks. Thinking of this, Lin Su couldn't wait any longer and urged Song Yulong to ask the price. The round-faced monk offered a price of 200 low-grade spirit stones, but Song Yulong cut it in half. In the end, the two sides reached a deal at a price of 100 low-grade spirit stones. Yulong, give me the jade slip. Under Lin Su's impatient urging, Song Yulong stuffed the jade slip into his collar. Lin Su glanced at it with his spiritual sense. It was indeed the recipe of the transformation pill and the breath-gathering pill, but the recipe of the breath-gathering pill seemed to be a little bit incomplete. No wonder the round-faced monk sold it for 100 low-grade spirit stones and looked like he had made a profit. However, this was nothing to Lin Su. With the spiritual field space, this little bit of incomplete part could be repaired, and it only took some spirit stones. Yulong, there's nothing to see. Let's go back and practice in seclusion. After putting the jade slip into the spiritual field space, Lin Su urged Song Yulong. He couldn't wait to study the recipe of the transformation pill and the breath-gathering pill. Song Yulong had wanted to leave a long time ago. Now, when he heard Lin Su's words, he turned around and walked out of the market. Unfortunately, he was stopped by several monks after walking a few steps. These monks were 3 men and 1 woman. The men were all wearing light blue clothes with a golden concentric circle logo on their collars. The woman was wearing a grass-green emerald smoke shirt, a green grass-pleated skirt with scattered flowers and mist, and a thin emerald smoke gauze. Her shoulders were cut into waists, her muscles were as thick as cream, and her breath was as quiet as orchids. She was so charming and beautiful that Song Yulong was a little stunned. Even Lin Su secretly praised her in his heart. What a cute little white snake, is it your spiritual pet? How about selling it to me? When the green-clothed woman said this, Lin Su, who was hiding in Song Yulong's collar, felt a click in his heart. Oh no, he was discovered. Song Yulong glanced at the golden concentric circle logo on the collars of several people, and his heart tightened immediately. Disciples of the Spirit Beast Island. He immediately cried out in his heart that he was unlucky. He actually ran into a disciple of the Spirit Beast Island. No wonder the other party found Lin Su hiding in his collar. Boy, our eldest lady is asking you a question. Are you deaf or dumb? Seeing that Song Yulong did not respond for a long time, the green-clothed woman frowned in displeasure. Seeing this, a cultivator from the Spirit Beast Island next to her had a flash of anger on her face and shouted at Song Yulong. The cultivation bases of these male cultivators from the Spirit Beast Island are all above the 9th level of the Chi training stage. The highest cultivation base of the green-clothed woman has reached the 10th level of the Chi training stage. Song Yulong has been busy setting up formations to earn spirit stones for half a year and has only been promoted to the 7th level of the Chi training stage. This male cultivator from the Spirit Beast Island did not take him seriously at all. What's more, in this Chaos Star Sea, except for the cultivators from the Xianxia Palace, who else would not be respectful when seeing their disciples from the Spirit Beast Island? This kid from the 7th level of the Chi training stage actually dared to turn a deaf ear to the words of their eldest lady Yeping. He was really bold. Sorry, this is my contract partner, I can't sell it to you. Song Yulong certainly couldn't sell Lin Su to Yeping. Even if he was willing, Lin Su wouldn't agree, right? However, he couldn't afford to offend the disciples of the Spirit Beast Island, so he could only politely refuse and turned around to leave. Stop. Sometimes, you don't want to cause trouble, but trouble will come to you. The 3 cultivators from the Spirit Beast Island moved their feet and surrounded Song Yulong. Boy, did we say we would let you go? The cultivator who scolded Song Yulong before sneered, boy, it's your good fortune that our young lady likes your spirit beast. If you know what's good for you, just give your spirit beast to me. Don't be shameless. It seems that this matter today can't be resolved peacefully. Lin Su jumped out from Song Yulong's collar and stared at the few people coldly, feeling an unknown fire rising in his heart. They were just a few young monks in the Chi training period. How could they be so arrogant? I really thought, Grandpa, are you too scared? Where is the face? Why didn't I see it? You need to have a face to give a face. Some people don't have a face. How can I give them a face? Lin Su did not speak, but taught Song Yulong to say such sarcastic words. Anyway, it seems that things today cannot be improved. What about the disciples of Spirit Beast Island? You dare to show your face, young master, I dare to slap him hard. You brat, who are you calling shameless? Do you want to die? You are so brave. You dare to speak to us like this. Have you never tasted the power of Spirit Beast Island? Senior brother Chen, don't talk nonsense to this boy. You can defeat him and snatch the spiritual beast. The three monks from Spirit Beast Island were praised wherever they went. When had they ever been ridiculed like this? They all stared at Song Yulong with murderous intent, ready to kill him to pieces. Brother Lin, is it really okay for you to provoke them like this? They are disciples of Spirit Beast Island. Unlike Lin Su, although Song Yulong was also very angry, the power of Spirit Beast Island had long been buried in his heart. Even though he followed Lin Su's words, he felt very uneasy in his heart. Do you think they will let us go if we compromise? Lin Su sneered, so what about the disciples of Spirit Beast Island? They are just a few monks at the 10th level of Qi training. They are fighting against others. If they want to rob me, it depends on whether they have the ability. Don't worry, just do as I say. Do it, at worst, leave Dongji City. The Sea of Chaotic Stars is so big, I don't believe that Spirit Beast Island will mobilize troops for these disciples who are in the Qi training period. Lin Su's words made Song Yulong feel relieved a lot. He looked at the disciples of Spirit Beast Island without showing any signs of weakness and snorted coldly, Spirit Beast Island is certainly very powerful, but just you guys can't represent Spirit Beast Island. I have already said that this is my contract partner, not a spiritual pet, and I can't sell it to you. Senior brother Chen, did you hear what this guy said? We can't replace Spirit Beast Island. Ha ha ha. Boy, have you become stupid through practicing martial arts? I will let you see if we can replace Spirit Beast Island now. Song Yulong's words made the three disciples from Spirit Beast Island burst out laughing. After one of them laughed, a look of rage flashed on his face. He stretched out his hand and patted the Spirit Beast bag on his waist. A black panther with a golden horn on his forehead appeared. He jumped out from it, roared to the sky, and rushed towards Song Yulong. This is a second-level monster, the thunder-horned black panther, from the chaotic star sea. It is famous for its sharp claws and horn that can release golden lightning. It is the favorite spiritual pet of low-level disciples in the Qi refining stage, and can also be used for transportation. After releasing the thunder-horned black panther, the three monks from Spirit Beast Island were leisurely holding their hands and preparing to watch the show. In their opinion, Song Yulong, a young casual cultivator at the 7th level of the Qi refining stage, would never be able to stop the thunder-horned black panther. Waiting for Song after the jade dragon died in the mouth of the thunder-horned black panther, wasn't the spirit-eyed snow python still in their possession? Snort. Lin Su looked at the thunder-horned black panther charging at him ferociously, with murderous intent flashing in his eyes. With a swish sound, he shot out from Song Yulong's shoulder and landed in front of the thunder-horned black panther. With a flick of his tail, he hit the thunder-horned black panther hard. Leopard's face. Ouch. A miserable howl sounded, and the one-horned black panther, which was like a calf, whirled and flew backwards. It knocked over several stalls and then fell to the ground. It was twitching all over. Half of the leopard's face was swollen to a high point. A deep blood stain stretched from the left eye to the right lower jaw, and bright red blood flowed out of the wound quickly. What? How is that possible? Smiles froze on the faces of the three monks on Spirit Beast Island. They never expected that the thunder-horned black panther of the second-level monster level would be tailed by Lin Su, a first-level monster-level spiritual-eyed snow python. It flew away, and it looked like it was seriously injured, and it had lost the ability to fight. Asshole, if you dare to hurt my spiritual beast, I will skin you alive. After a brief daze, the monk from Spirit Beast Island reacted and became furious, and a huge fireball blasted towards Lin Su. Stop, don't hurt it. Yeping who had been watching silently, opened her mouth to stop him, but the fireball had already been sent out and was about to hit Lin Su. Little tricks. Lin Su didn't dodge, he opened his mouth and sucked it in. The huge fireball turned into a line of fire and was sucked into his mouth in full. Fireball technique. This low-level spell used by disciples in the chi refining stage has long been left behind by Lin Su. Whether it is temperature or power, it is far inferior to Lin Su's soul fire. After inhaling the fireball into the body, it was absorbed by the body without even using the absorption ability of the spiritual field space. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 89. Oh my god. Am I dazzled? That spiritual-eyed snow python actually swallowed the fireball. How can a first-level monster be so powerful? The monks around were all stunned by Lin Su's performance. The first-level spiritual-eyed snow python was able to swallow the fireball technique issued by the 9th-level monks in the Qi training period. Isn't it too abnormal? This spirit-eyed snow python is not easy, we must catch it. Lin Su's unexpected performance shocked the 3 spiritual beast sect monks. Then, with greed in their eyes, they took out 3 palm-sized nets woven with light golden silk threads and threw them at Lin Su. It's a trapped beast net. Lin Su's pupils shrank suddenly. He had suffered from the trapped beast net. This thing seemed to have a natural restraint effect on monsters. Although Lin Su was no longer the same as he was then, he was not going to verify the trapped beast at this moment. Network function. Uni-umbu. His body twisted strangely, and Lin Su used his body instead of his feet to use cloud and smoke step, turning into after-images like clouds and smoke to escape the 3 trapped beast nets. What a speed! The 3 spiritual beast sect monks were startled, and the spells in their hands changed. The trapping net chased Lin Su and kept covering it, but every time it was covered with after-images. This little beast is too fast. This is not the way to go. Let's destroy that brat first. Don't worry about this little beast not submitting. One of the monks suggested, and the other 2's eyes lit up and they turned to look at Song Yulong. That's right, take this kid down and see how arrogant his spiritual pet can be. A fireball and a water arrow were shot towards Song Yulong, and at the same time, a group of vines appeared under his feet and wrapped around him. Jade Dragon, use fire armor to burn 10 men. Lin Su's voice rang in Song Yulong's heart, and at the same time, his figure suddenly rushed in front of Song Yulong, sucking the fireball into his mouth again, and at the same time, a wooden shield appeared in front of him, blocking the ice arrows. Brother Lin, what should we do now? Song Yulong followed Lin Su's words and used the fire armor technique to burn off the vines wrapped around his body, and asked anxiously. Nonsense, of course you have to run away quickly. You really plan to fight them desperately? You retreat first, and I will break up the rear. Lin Su said a word, turned around and rushed towards the 3 monks from Spirit Beast Island. He had been showing mercy just now, but these 3 people had repeatedly dealt harsh blows. In this case, he no longer needed to be polite. The disciples from Spirit Beast Island, so what, I'll still beat you until you turn into pig heads. Ba bang bang. 3 crisp sounds sounded one after another, but it was Lin Su who rushed in front of the 3 of them, and with lightning speed, he struck each of them with a tail on their faces, whipping the 3 of them flying out, stepping on the thunder-horned Black Panther's path. Follow in the footsteps. 3 idiots, you don't even use a spell to protect yourself, you really think I don't dare to slap you? Looking contemptuously at the 3 monks from Spirit Beast Island who were covering their faces and wailing, Lin Su twisted his body and quickly chased Song Yulong, but paused when he passed by Ye Ping'er and gave him after giving a warning look. He continued to chase Song Yulong, and disappeared after a few steps. Interesting, this little white snake seems to have quite a lot of intelligence. A playful smile appeared on Ye Ping'er's lips. It was really strange for a first-level monster to have such high intelligence. This was definitely not an ordinary snow python with spiritual eyes. You losers, Why don't you hurry up and investigate that kid's origins for me? Glancing at the three Spirit Beast Island monks lying on the ground wailing, Ye Ping'er showed a look of disgust in her eyes. These three guys usually cost 25,800,000, but they were so useless at the critical moment. They were beaten by a first level. The monster's spirit-eyed snow python transformed its entire face into a pig's head, completely disgracing Spirit Beast Island's face. Hearing Ye Ping'er's cold shout, the three Spirit Beast Island monks ignored the pain on their faces and climbed up. They took a breath of cold air and applied elixir on the wound. They asked around about Song Yulong's identity. Come. After knocking down the three Spirit Beast Island monks, Lin Su deployed Union Step with all his strength, and soon caught up with Song Yulong, and got into Song Yulong's collar with a swish. Yulong, don't go back to the bamboo house. Find a spiritual herb shop to buy some spiritual herbs. We will leave Dongji City directly. Those disciples from Spirit Beast Island will definitely investigate our origins. We don't have much time. Lin Su took a cursory glance at the recipe for the transformation pill. He had heard of several kinds of spiritual herbs and should be able to buy them in spiritual herb stores. As for the other spiritual herbs, he would just have to figure out how to deal with them. Song Yulong responded and turned onto another street. Seeing that no one was paying attention to him, he ducked into a spiritual herb shop. Shopkeeper, do you have these spiritual herbs in your store? Song Yulong handed the shopkeeper a jade slip, which contained more than 10 kinds of spiritual herbs, all of which were necessary for refining the transformation pill. Our store does not have these two kinds of spiritual herbs, blood ginseng and broken vein grass, and I dare say that there is no spiritual herb shop in the entire Dongji city that carries these two kinds of spiritual herbs. These are two extremely rare spiritual herbs. Only it's a special place. Rightward arrow. The shopkeeper looked at the list of spiritual herbs in the jade slip and said, "Very good, here are 3 of each of the other spiritual herbs." Song Yulong took out a storage bag filled with spiritual stones and placed it in front of the shopkeeper. "I thought maybe you knew where the blood ginseng and broken vein grass are." "Of course, I know, but that place is dangerous and no one wants to set foot there easily." The shopkeeper picked up the storage bag and scanned it with his consciousness, with a smile on his face. "That's my problem, you just have to tell me where it is." The shopkeeper nodded clearly, took out a blank jade slip, copied some things into it and handed it to Song Yulong. "This is the map, from Dongji City to the Sea of Demons, together with the spiritual herbs you need. There are a total of 8,322 low-grade spiritual stones." Song Yulong nodded, put away the jade slips, left 8,400 low-grade spiritual stones in the storage bag and handed them to the shopkeeper. "Remember, I haven't been here today." "Of course, I've never met you either." The shopkeeper took the storage bag, scanned it, and said with a solemn look. After leaving the spiritual herb shop, Song Yulong followed Lin Su's words and rushed straight to the gate of Dongji City. Anyway, he didn't leave anything behind in the bamboo house, except for 2 small spirit gathering arrays. "Brother Lin, where are we going now?" Obviously Ye Ping'er and others have not searched for the city gate yet. Perhaps they did not expect Lin Su and Song Yulong to leave Dongji City so decisively. Song Yulong did not encounter any obstruction and easily left the city. Arrive at the coast of Dongji Island. First find a desert island to hide for a while. If those monks from Spirit Beast Island are not found in Dongji City, we will definitely go to nearby cities to look for them. The shopkeeper of the spiritual grass shop said that blood ginseng and broken vein grass were in the demonic sea. Judging from the description on the map he gave, this demonic sea should be an extremely dangerous place. Their current cultivation level is really too low. If there is any danger, even Fishan can't escape. It is better to find a place to retreat and break through before looking for it. Desolate Island, let's take a look. There aren't any desert islands near Dongji City. Taking out the spirit boat and zooming in, Lin Su and Song Yulong jumped on it, letting the spirit boat float along the current. Song Yulong punched a magic formula into his jade slip of the map, and a green light shot out from it, revealing the east. A map of the city within a radius of 200 miles. What is this place? Lin Su pointed to a desert island to the west of Dongji City. This is Fire Island. It's actually a volcano. Because it erupts frequently, basically no one goes there, even very few birds and animals. Don't think about it, let's go to Fire Island. Fire Island is only more than 100 miles away from Dongji City. Lin Su and Song Yulong arrived at Fire Island in less than a day. As Song Yulong said, Fire Island is an active volcano. The crater in the center of the entire island is constantly pouring out thick smoke. From time to time, volcanic rocks of different sizes fall from the sky. The force is enough to smash a strong beast to death. No wonder no one wants to come to this island. The environment here is indeed very bad. Because of the volcano, the fire aura on the entire island is extremely rich, while the aura of other attributes is relatively scarce. The rich fire spirit is very suitable for cultivators with fire spirit roots, but the flying stones falling at any time are a great threat. Although the monks must have ways to avoid being injured by flying stones, this will undoubtedly interrupt their practice. So unless necessary, the monks from Hualingen are not willing to come to this flame island. But this is the best hiding place for Lin Su and the two of them. We will practice well here. When I break through to the third level monster, you will advance to the foundation building stage monk and we will leave. Lin Su's words stunned Song Yulong. Did I hear you right? Brother Lin, you mean we have to practice here until the foundation building stage? How is this possible? This volcano may erupt at any time, and there are still things falling everywhere. Flying stones. It doesn't matter. If the volcano erupts, we will leave temporarily. As for the flying rocks, it is not a problem for me. Just set up a defensive formation. Falling flying rocks are indeed a great threat to ordinary casual cultivators in Chaotic Star Sea, because very few people can set up a defensive formation that can withstand flying rocks, but this is not a problem for Lin Su. Because the volcano often erupts, there are no caves on Fire Island to shelter in. Lin Su and the two could only choose a slightly secluded forest as a shelter. A simple defensive formation was set up with more than a dozen spirit stones and activated. A translucent light blue light curtain enveloped Lin Su and Song Yulong. Jade Dragon, I'm going to start practicing now, remember, don't get too close to me. After telling Song Yulong, Lin Su crossed his body and entered the spirit field space. Lin Su wants to refine a foundation building pill. He does not need a foundation building pill to advance to the third level monster, but Song Yulong does. Before starting to practice, Lin Su needs to refine a foundation building pill. This is his promise to Song Yulong. Dantian has a little field. Author, The Magic Orb Zoo. Chapter 90. Lin Su always kept the seeds of the spiritual herbs for refining the foundation building pill, because he didn't know when he would need them again. After spending some time and spiritual stones to cultivate the spiritual herbs for refining the foundation building pill, Lin Su skillfully refined a foundation building pill. Song Yulong's talent was not bad, and he practiced the first-class skills of the Sword God. Section 1 foundation building pill was enough for him to break through to the foundation building stage. It seems that this volcano will not erupt for the time being. When Lin Su's voice sounded, Song Yulong stopped practicing and opened his eyes with some surprise. Brother Lin, have you finished practicing? I haven't started practicing yet, I just helped you refine this. Lin Su's mind moved, and the jade bottle containing the foundation building pill appeared in front of Song Yulong. This is the foundation building pill. Song Yulong widened his eyes in disbelief. Foundation building pill? Lin Su could actually refine the foundation building pill. Where did the spiritual materials come from? Song Yulong didn't remember that Lin Su had collected the raw materials for the foundation building pill. I have a unique space where I can store things and refine pills. That's all I can tell you. Lin Su wagged his tail. Why, don't you want it? I want it, of course I want it. Song Yulong hurriedly put away the foundation building pill. In the past 6 months since Lin Su entered the spiritual field space, he has successfully broken through to the 9th level of the Qi refining stage using the large amount of spiritual stones he earned. He is not far from the 10th level of the Great Perfection. He will definitely reach the spiritual realm point of breakthrough within 3 years. This foundation building pill is very important to him. Okay, hurry up and practice. This flame island should erupt in 2 years. It would be best if you can successfully build your foundation within these 2 years. Since the green seedling grew into a green lotus, Lin Su felt that his ability to perceive the spiritual energy of heaven and earth has improved a lot just like now. Just by sensing the fluctuations of the fire spiritual energy, Lin Su has deduced the approximate time of the next volcanic eruption. Brother Lin, how did you know when the next volcanic eruption will occur? A question flashed through Song Yulong's mind, but he immediately put it behind his mind. No matter how Lin Su knew it, it was right to listen to him. Within 2 years, he must break through to the foundation building stage. The foundation building pill has been refined for Song Yulong, and Lin Su should also practice quickly to break through to the 3rd level monster as soon as possible. Coiling his body and opening his mouth, Lin Su used the Xiantian Hualongju technique. Because there was already a trace of dragon essence in his body, it was much easier to condense it now. The power of the soul would spontaneously merge with the concentrated spiritual energy of heaven and earth to form dragon essence. Woo! A huge amount of spiritual energy from heaven and earth rushed towards Lin Su like a flood that broke through the dam, and even brought a woo-woo sound of wind, forming a spiritual energy vortex visible to the naked eye. My God, isn't Brother Lin's cultivation too exaggerated? Song Yulong on the side stared at this horrifying scene with wide eyes. Lin Su was not absorbing spiritual energy, he was simply plundering. Song Yulong had seen monsters absorbing spiritual energy from heaven and earth to cultivate, but even the 3rd and 4th level foundation building monsters did not absorb spiritual energy from heaven and earth as fast as Lin Su, which completely overturned Song Yulong's cognition. Brother Lin's cultivation method, if I practice next to him, I won't get any spiritual energy from heaven and earth. Forget it, I'd better stay away. With Lin Su's plundering cultivation method, the area within a radius of several miles will be affected. The closer you are, the greater the impact. If Song Yulong doesn't stay away, I'm afraid he won't be able to absorb any spiritual energy from heaven and earth. After walking 3 miles, Song Yulong stopped in a canyon on the island. The spiritual energy here is also rich, and the influence of Lin Su is not too great. It is a good place to practice. Following Lin Su's example, Song Yulong set up a simple defensive formation, and sat cross-legged in it to absorb spiritual energy. Lin Su knew that Song Yulong had left to find another place to practice, and he smiled bitterly in his heart but did not stop him. He did not expect that his current practice would cause such a big commotion. If Song Yulong did not leave, it would definitely be greatly affected. The meridians of the Dragon Clan are indeed different from before. The compression speed of the spiritual energy of heaven and earth has increased by 10 times. Basically, it can successfully condense a trace of dragon essence after running 10 cycles. Feeling the increase of dragon essence in the body and the feeling of strengthening the cultivation level a little bit, Lin Su felt an indescribable sense of pleasure in his heart. In just half a year, Lin Su broke through the limit of the 1st level monster and reached the 2nd level monster. Not only did his cultivation level improve, but his body also grew a circle. Now it is as thick as a small arm, and there is a bulge on Lin Su's forehead, which has faint signs of turning into a dragon. The improvement of his cultivation did not make Lin Su relax at all. His current strength was still too weak. He had no ability to resist human cultivators in the foundation building period, not to mention the demon sea where he was about to go to find the blood ginseng and the broken vein grass. There were so many powerful monsters and demons gathered there. With Lin Su's current strength, any monster could eat him up as a snack. Another half a year passed, and Lin Su's cultivation broke through to the peak of the second-level demon beast. The next step up was the third-level demon beast equivalent to the foundation building cultivator. However, the dragon essence in his body suddenly stopped growing, and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth absorbed into his body gathered at the bulge on his head. Lin Su had a vague feeling that when the bulge on his head broke open and grew horns, he would be able to successfully break through to the third-level demon beast. Boom! On this day, Lin Su was continuing to absorb the spiritual energy of heaven and earth for practice. Suddenly, the ground beneath his feet suddenly shook, and a destructive explosive atmosphere spread from the distant volcano crater in all directions. The volcano is about to erupt. How is it possible? I have calculated before that it should be another year before it erupts. Lin Su stopped practicing and looked in the direction of the volcano crater with a look of surprise on his face. Large plumes of thick smoke mixed with fire shot up from the volcano crater, becoming more and more violent. Flying rocks were also much more frequent than before. The volcano is indeed about to erupt. Damn it, gotta get out of here. Although I don't understand why the volcano erupted in advance, such power of heaven and earth is not something that people like Lin Su and Song Yulong, who have not even reached the foundation building stage, can withstand. They must leave as soon as possible. Relying on the perception ability of the equal contract, Lin Su rushed in the direction of Song Yulong's training, and met Song Yulong on the way, who was also coming. The plan has changed. The volcano erupted ahead of time. I don't know the reason, but we must leave Fire Island immediately. Lin Su's body has now grown to the thickness of an arm, more than 2 meters long. It is no longer suitable to get into Song Yulong's collar or sit cross-legged on his shoulders. He tilted his head at Song Yulong, and Lin Su turned around and swept towards the seaside. The snake's body floated close to the grass, so fast that Song Yulong tried his best to keep up. Boom! As soon as the two people sailed less than a mile away from the Fire Island in the spirit boat, the entire volcano erupted violently. A huge pillar of fire rose into the sky from the crater, dyeing the sky fiery red. The fire spirit in the air violently erupted. There was a riot, the temperature rose rapidly, and countless volcanic rocks fell in all directions, covering an area of more than 10 miles. Lin Su had to activate the defensive formation of the spirit boat to resist the attack of flying rocks. This volcanic eruption seems to be much more violent than before. Song Yulong looked at the Fire Island in the distance, which looked like a doomsday scene, and murmured that he had encountered a volcanic eruption when he passed by the Fire Island before, but that time was far less violent than this one. As soon as Song Yulong finished speaking, the entire Fire Island suddenly collapsed with the crater as the center. A terrifying demonic energy surged out from the crack along with the underground magma. Lin Su and his two people suddenly changed their expressions. Great demon in the nascent soul stage. Go quickly, leave quickly. Lin Su screamed and came to the bow of the ship in a flash, taking over Song Yulong's position and urging Long Yuan to control the spirit boat away from the Flame Island. Such a terrifying demonic energy is definitely a great demon in the nascent soul stage. With their current strength, if they are targeted by the opponent, there will be no possibility of escape. They must stay away quickly. Ang! As a deafening dragon roar sounded, a fire dragon with a single horn, a body as big as a mountain, and 4 claws on its belly soared into the sky from the cracked Flame Island, and a violent aura instantly swept through the Flame Island. A radius of hundreds of miles. It turned out to be a dragon. With the appearance of the fire dragon, the demonic aura became even stronger. Lin Su and Song Yulong's chests felt as if they were pressed by large rocks, and their bones creaked. Lin Su felt a homogeneous force from this demonic aura that seemed to be substantial. The aura is that of the Dragon Clan. This fire dragon is actually a dragon with signs of transforming into a dragon. Several streaks of light flew rapidly from the sky, but it was the evil aura of the fire dragon that soared into the sky that attracted the attention of the human monks. Some couldn't help but came to check out their curiosity. Ang! An angry dragon roar sounded. The fire dragon seemed to be extremely disgusted with the human monks. He swung his body and several fire pillars shot out from the flames surrounding him. In the blink of an eye, he came to the monks who were wielding swords. Got it right. Ah! Several screams rang out, and the monk who was hit by the fire pillar only had time to let out a scream before it turned into flames and fell from the sky into the sea. Only one yellow-robed monk who was flying in the air escaped the attack of the fire pillar. He turned his head and turned into a stream of light and fled towards the distance lifelessly. Hi! Lin Su and Song Yulong took a breath of cold air. The dragons in the nascent soul stage were really terrifying. Those who could fly with swords were monks above the foundation establishment stage. However, they were burned to the bone by the pillars of fire they randomly emitted. The early monks could only flee. If I had known that Fire Island had such a terrifying fire dragon, even if I killed Lin Su and Song Yulong, I would not have dared to choose Fire Island to practice. God forbid this terrifying dragon ancestor not notice us. Lin Su prayed in his heart while desperately urging the spirit boat to stay away. It's a pity that things backfired. I was afraid that something would come of it. After dealing with the human monks who were joining in the fun, the fire dragon turned its head, and its giant lantern-like eyes suddenly looked at Lin Su and the two of them. What a tragedy!